Iranians living outside of the country, they are speaking out against the crackdown on the protesters, including the family of the former Shah.
Yesterday, I had the chance to speak with the Crown Princess of Iran, Noor Pahlavi. Take a listen. It has been incredibly painful watching the videos that are coming out of Iran. So many thousands of people have been killed. Reports being confirmed now from some human rights groups that it's 12,000. And I am now reading in some places, though it's still unconfirmed, that as many as 20,000 people have been killed in the last few days in Iran. Why is the Islamic regime killing so many people?
This regime has never governed for the Iranian people. Its priority has never been Iran's prosperity or the safety of its citizens. What it values is the imposition and expansion of its ideology, and it's willing to sacrifice unlimited lives in pursuit of that goal. Every time Iranians have risen over the past 47 years to tell their government they needed to see change, the government responded with harsher crackdowns and bullets. And we really see evidence of the regime's disregard for Iranians everywhere we look, from the environment to the economy to the quality of lives of its citizens. And we all that the regime rejects the West and everything that we stand for here. And I think their massacre on the heels of President Trump's warnings is evidence of that. And tragically, the victims are often the bravest and the youngest children who should really be building their futures, not becoming martyrs for freedom.
You just mentioned about protests. Protests in Iran are not anything new. We've covered them for many, many years. But this time, we clearly see things are different. And we also hear the name of your father, the Crown Prince, being chanted. Many people listening to what he is saying. What is that like for you to hear your father's name and to hear your family name?
It's really astonishing because for 47 years in exile, he's stood often alone fighting for the human rights of the Iranian people with very little support, and has been steadfast in his commitment. And it feels like the Iranians recognize the purity and the honor of the man that I've always known. And I'm grateful that he's actually alive to see it, because unfortunately his father was not. And I know that he would give his life before betraying the Iranian people, and it feels like they know that too. And what's also interesting is that he's been up against very well-funded propaganda machines, entire governments trying to distort his message and discredit him. And he's done this at great personal risk. And with the decades of regime propaganda inside Iran as well that people have heard, it's really nothing short of magic that they've seen through all of this and come together in this unified way, chanting for him. I think the most heartbreaking thing about the messages that I'm seeing is that they often start with, "This will probably be my last message." And they're sending desperate messages to inform me of the regime's brutality, trying to get the word out and trying to stay connected. I'm being told that they're using military weapons against unarmed protesters, that people are being shot on their balconies and hunted down in the streets, that they've come across the bodies of children as young as 3 years old because they're not leaving any survivors. And also that they're not surrendering the bodies of dead family members without payment, and knowing, that the value of the currency has declined as dramatically as it has. This often means thousands of US dollars for them. And it's really hard to read. And I also receive a lot of apologies from certain people wishing that they could speak up more, but saying that their families are being held and, they're afraid of what the regime's going to do.
Many of these protests, including this one, the faces of so many young people just like yourself. If you could speak to them directly, the younger generation, especially after everything that we've seen over the past few weeks, what would you say?
I would say that your bravery has already changed history. I would thank them, particularly the youth, for leading the ultimate battle for Iran's soul and the souls of its people. And I would also say that those of us in the diaspora carry the responsibility for making sure that your sacrifices lead to real change and not more pain. The entire Iranian diaspora is unified. Millions are showing up to protest in solidarity with their brothers and sisters inside, as I'm sure you've seen in the footage that circulated on social media. We're glued to our phones. None of us are sleeping. We're lobbying, raising awareness, trying to educate the world, and trying to make sure that this is the last time they have to risk their lives for basic human rights. Because this really is a battle between good and evil. There's no nuance to it. There's no other side of the story. When you see the videos of people dying, that is a government waging war on its own people for peacefully protesting, as it always has. And everyone needs to speak up and be their voice.
If you could say something to the world about Iranians, I think nowadays everybody has a Iranian, a Persian friend. If they haven't, they work with them. They've seen them on the streets over the past few weeks, the past few years, protesting for Iran and wanting a free Iran. What would you want people to know about Iranians, the people of Iran?
That they're not this regime, and that in Iran you find the most resilient, educated, freedom-loving people in the world, and they're silenced, but they're never broken. They're going out with such bravery. They want to participate in the global economy. They want the basic rights that people here have, and they deserve them. And I think also Iran's not a failed nation, it's a hostage nation. And when it's finally free, the world is going to see that what we've always known, which is that Iran's greatest resource is its people.
Princess Noor, we appreciate your time. Thank you for talking to us here.
Thank you for having me.